He found him a tasty tree. Wanted to sit down there by a fresher tree. But it's like what? It's in at 3 p.m. And there's gonna be kids out playing. So down here we're behind trees this way, and he's behind the tree that way. If I sit back a little bit, I'm kind of hidden too. See? Yeah. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Vinny Ryland from the future timeline. Pre-Vinny's manning my body in the future timeline, hanging out with the girls, playing music, smelling like pussy, riding motorcycles, riding horses, doing all kinds of awesome shit. Yeah, playing concerts, writing books about those who got time looped here and spiritually executed. They never get born, so they're fiction novels in the next timeline. Yeah, he and I both man that shit. Yeah, in this timeline, though, you're probably more familiar with my wife/sister, Nikki Ryland. I know you're with her. She's from Hail Your Highness. Badass little fucking drummer. Baddest little female drummer in Michigan. Probably the baddest drummer, who knows. She, if y'all ain't up on Hail Your Highness, it's like you I don't know, you need to pull your head out of your own ass or out of the hole in the ground that it's been in and get hip. Because, well, they have the potential, if they hook up with Pre-Vinny, to be a multi-timeline fucking music act. You see, like, you know, in the future, after this shit's undone and all the suffering's undone, there's no more frequency, sub-frequency laced music. It's all about what the musician is. There's no more technology and all that shit. You know, this modern bullshit phones and TVs and laptops and, you know, social media and all this dumb shit that program people to be so foul. But yeah, you're probably wondering, hey, how's it work out since you're in love with her sister, Jessie Mae Bobbemeier? Well, we're punk rockers, you know that the legends about us. We're just incestuous. We all sleep in the same bed. We're always together. 3-string chord is not easily broken, so we refuse to be broken. Yeah, this timeline can't break us. I'm kidding, okay? Nikki and Jessie don't know Vinny. They probably don't even know of him. He's probably not even on their radar. And it wouldn't be for a lack of trying on his part. But in this timeline, you have to be more careful how you do shit. Especially if you've already been an outlaw. You know, Vinny's been blessed to have some really hard as nails, gangster-minded, outlaw-minded, fuck-the-man-minded fucking women in his life. You see, there's things that he has because of those awesome women. Stand against small fucking man. Yeah. So, smoking too many cigarettes for Vinny's body. We don't smoke cigarettes in the next timeline. We don't even make them. There's no packs like this. There's no cigarette butts anywhere. You see me put the cigarette out, put the cigarette butt in my pocket. That's how Pre-Vinny does it too. The real man don't leave his cigarette butts laying around. But I keep doing these videos, and I'm thinking maybe Pre-Vinny got put in a position where this is all he could do for a while. To like super lace the timeline, right? And let this person go by. Super lace the timeline with positive frequency resonance. A transferal of addictions, transferal. You see? Boy, that shit's carrying, ain't it? That's all the way across the river. It sounds like it's right here, though. Yeah. That's what I mean about this town being like a sound stage, and I don't think people come here by accident. Well, brought Vini here was a series of fucking horrible mistakes. You see? There's a kid coming anyway. We'll just turn this off for a minute because I don't want to like be doing anything spooky when she walks by. I guess she's probably gonna walk by here unless she turns at one of them houses down there. We don't want to risk it though, right? Because we can pick this up in a second. And just see what he's doing. He's gonna get that stuck in his teeth. Then he's gonna be trying to get it out of his teeth by clawing at his face, and I'll have to pull it out of his teeth for him. He literally put his paw up to rip a piece of it off. Yeah. So, I got it impressed upon my spirit to continue to do the videos, both the voice and night ones and as Cassandra. Got a lot of traffic coming through here. Oh, it's the young Sing driving through. Drilling through here like 4 times in the last hour. On his way in and out. So, my Vini's sister, I took a picture in the rain yesterday from the garden, the community garden. Aslan and I walked up there, he shit there. I picked the shit up, we walked down to the church, and then we walked back to the community garden, and he walked over where there wasn't even any trees, just stood there in the rain and sat down and looked up at me as if to say, "You gonna sit down too?" So, I snapped a photo of him, sent it to Vini's sister, the one who looks out for him, his older, younger sister. And it was like looking down at the ground, standing over him, so there was like nothing above him, you know. She sends back a text, what's above, a UFO? So then all the way back, I was like tripping out, looking above on the way back, because it's like, I did recently do some shit about Nibiru, and you know, the entities, they had to be called via time, you know, time traveling angels of death to undo the technology they brought here before the days of Noah, before the flood of Noah, like 2,000 years before the flood of Noah, maybe. I don't know. You could probably figure it out if you like can get a clue how old the hieroglyphs are, and then you know, get a clue when historically the flood happened, which you can do from Chinese history, because it didn't flood the China region. Chinese history records the flood of Noah as a flood on the other side of the mountains, blah blah blah. A great flood that flooded all the rest of the earth except for China. Maybe China was spared because, you know, their dynasties are going to be undone, and there's not going to be a China in the next timeline, because there's not. Just so people understand that. Oh, none of that torture ever happened. There never was a Mao. But they all got time looped as their victims and as those who had to live beneath them while they lived good. And then as slaves to repay back their gain because it was ill-gotten, because, well, you couldn't just reap what you sowed there. You couldn't work hard and get shit, you know. They had slave races there, you know, slave cliques, you know, that like, okay, they'd relegate them as slaves, and they're going to work for pennies on the dollar to make the nation billions. And that's where your eye gadgets that never get made in the next timeline come from. And those who outsourced and caused that slavery, they knew they did it, and they're going to get time looped to some people that had to do that. Being driven insane, working so hard. Got suicide nets on the outside of the windows. You see, that's what's coming for those on the Forbes Fortune 500 list. That's just a list of accrued debt, yo. I mean, if you can see it from the next timeline, you understand that. None of them are there. They all got time looped as all their victims. That includes slave laborers. But yeah, Vini and I are engaged in this thing, this frequency resonance war. It's why we do these talk videos. Because, well, some of you are transferring addictions from the negative frequencies and low vibration energy you get from the mainstream over to, you know, people like Vini, me, Paul Romano. I believe Paul Romano has a gift, a spiritual healing gift in his voice, like Vini. And some of you listen for the healing effects, you know, like it does heal your body to hit it with the opposing frequencies. Earlier, we walked down to that stop sign down there that we're looking at right now. There's a person down there. And when we got down there, we saw a dude riding by, long hair and goatee and shit, with a little small chihuahua running next to him. Looked like a service dog. He had one of those service dog vests on it. And he got down the road. Aslan started tripping out and shit. So I made Aslan wait, and we didn't continue our walk. We just stayed there by the stop sign for a minute. He got down the road, and it looked like he let the dog dookie, and then he picked it up and rode off and rode around the corner towards the church down there by the community garden. So anyway, we walk over to the church, and I see him ride out from behind the church. There's a vehicle in front of the church. And I had never walked that far back, but I was curious because when he came riding out, he didn't have the dog. He rode down to the dead end of the road and then came riding back not too long after that. But he didn't have the dog. And so, you know, he came riding from out behind the church, and I was just curious, you know, did he take that dog back there and kill it, lock it in a box or something? You know, I didn't know what could have happened to it, right? I couldn't see him, like, letting it run and letting it potty and then him picking it up and doing something evil to it. So, and, you know, I didn't feel that energy from it. So anyway, Aslan dookied again, you know, more nasty mush mess. With red in it, but that might not be blood. It could be, you know, the marrow from the milk bones, and because that's red. And I cleaned that up, and then I noticed, out of the corner of my eye, that there's a camper back there and a vehicle back there. So the dude could have been like walking a dog for them people, and then took it back and put it in the camper with them or something. You know, I don't know. Got a car coming this way from my house down there. You got stuff in your fur, buddy. See, you're so far over, I look like I'm sitting here by myself, yo. You make me look conspicuous. Oh, you're almost done with your video? Well, I guess I'm going to be done mowing then. I was only doing it to aggravate you. Nah. He was doing it before I came up. I didn't have to sit here and have that for background noise. So yeah, we walked back because I saw kids were getting off school and shit, and I didn't want to be out walking around with a little dog, little kids, you know. I just don't want to be one of them, perceived as one of them dudes that I got a little dog to go try and approach little kids, because I actually try to avoid kids. I don't like to be approached by kids. I don't like to have to interact with them, you know. And Vini really hates it. Vini hates it because, well, you know, now his record's never going to be cleared. Now that Diane's dead. So, you know, I mean, he did do the escape, but it's like, okay, yeah. And you can't say nothing about it now because, well, now if you even defend yourself in the slightest bit, you're speaking ill of the dead. So it's like, ain't that some shit? Vini grew up in some weird norms. You know, like they've done these studies. People grow up around guns. It's just normal for them to have them. You know, people grow up around violence. It's normal for them to be violent. People grow up around incestuous sexual bullshit. It gets passed down to them from the previous generation. You know, that's something that they do, man. What I can't stand is how people call this bus and they ain't even ready for it, and they keep them waiting. Then you're fucking sitting there on the bus. You were ready. You were waiting when the bus pulled up, and fucking they're holding you up. You know, they're in there all diddly around. They ain't got a mask on. They know they gotta have a mask on to get on the bus. You know, all kinds of slow ass shit. It's like, and I don't know what's up here. I thought this bus was dropping somebody off, but maybe there has to be a parent there for them to let them off the bus. Maybe they're blowing the horn for the parent. I don't know. He's a good boy. Yes, he is. I guess we'll stop. We pretty much covered what I wanted to talk about. It's about 4 p.m. now. Just decided to go in and make a coffee. I was out of coffee. And going in, I don't know what I witnessed. Like, is it just somebody coming out of an apartment after visiting somebody? Or was it somebody trying to break into an apartment? Or was it somebody coming out of an apartment after breaking into it? I don't know. But y'all know that Vini met and talked with a woman that lives here on the little bus. You know, fed her all kinds of bubble stories, because you don't tell people the truth about you. Not in this town, anyway. And then he ends up living here, and she's here. Well, you know, you kind of get the feeling like some of the people here might do some evil shit. Maybe they got low vibration energy. They're low energy type people, right? So, you know that some of them might do some evil shit. You know, they might break in somebody's apartment or some shit. So, then she's coming up the hallway, you know, just trying to seem like that innocent old woman, pushing her little walker. And Aslan cowered from the walker. He's like over to the side and shit. He don't want nothing to go nowhere near that walker. She's like reaching for him, wanting to pet him and shit, you know. It's like rusing like a motherfucker. And I'm like, he's afraid of that cart thingy, you know. And she's like, oh, my walker. So she came around it and went way over and got down, like, you know, crouched down to pet him. And to me, it just seemed off, you know, like how people, when you almost caught them doing something or you did catch them doing something, they'll ruse it up really good. And they'll even go so far as to, like, you know, oh, I got this walker out because I'm going for a walk. So then they'll go make sure you see them walking around on the sidewalk around the corner. That kind of shit. I don't know. She could be on her way to her fence, you know. Whoever she's gonna sell whatever she just sold to, you know. Whatever stole, you know, sell it to them. I don't know. Trade it for dope. I don't know what these motherfuckers do. I know Vini, Vini had a debt of negative karma from his childhood and shit that he knew he had to pay from his youth. He was more than happy to pay it, though, because he wanted to be free of the karma, so that God, yeah, I don't know why I keep using the descriptive. God is a descriptive. It's not his name. Yeah, wanted to utilize him, but he couldn't use him like that. With all that negative low vibration energy all over him. So now Vinny doesn't have any negative karma. He doesn't really belong here if this is like where people end up because they have negative karma, you see. And I don't know, this seems like a click-up place where, like, if you don't fit in and click in with everybody else, you ain't hanging out on the benches and smoking with them, you know, and talking with them and shit. Like, eventually, you know, they all just start gossiping about you and turning against you and talking shit about you, you see. And I am, in this timeline, I'm not like this in my timeline, but in this timeline, I'm standoffish like Vini is. With good reason, yo. I mean, look at how toxic people are. Scary and shit. And violent. Motherfuckers are scary up in this timeline. So, like, there should be a cause for, like, I don't know, just, like, looking a little bit more when you see a dude like me, stranger, new to the neighborhood, walking around with his dog, right when it's hours for kids to get out of school. It just keeps happening. And it's happening coincidentally, you see? And I refuse to act on fear. Well, I'm not going to go outside because, well, the kids might be getting out the bus and it's going to look funny to somebody. It's like, fuck somebody. People's minds are in the gutters here. I've noticed that. That's why they're so quick to regard Vini as something that he's not. You see? So, you know, sexually, privately, he may be perverted, but he doesn't share that with people. Unless, like, you know, it's a significant other. And he doesn't try to pull other people into it. He may try to capitalize on it or exploit it once in a while. Not because he needs the money, but just because he wants to do it, you know. Bored. The challenge. See if you can generate something. See if you're still valuable to anybody, you know, in any capacity, for anything, you see. His female entity wins out every time. But I think that's because of what women are here, man, you know. Their minds are in the gutter. They don't want to have a relationship with a dude and have him in their life. They just want to use an app and get some sex, you know, anonymously and quickly, and go back to what they were doing. So there's a lot of people that pull into this old people complex when I'm out here. A lot of people drive by. But Vini never told y'all about the little girl on the astroscape. I know he hasn't. I've been looking for the memory of him making the video. He's never made a video about it because people's minds are in the gutter here. Yeah. Oh, the little girl. Oh my God. Vini and Vini from the next timeline, their spirit interacts with a little girl. On the timeline, on the astroscape. Well, nobody can see what they're doing here. Nobody here can see what they're doing. Oh no. You can't monitor it. You don't know what this little girl is doing. It ain't nothing sexual, stupid. Gutter mind. Damn. For one, she ain't dead. She's a little girl. Spirits, when you see a real spirit that's not dead or that is dead, it's in the prime of their life, whatever that is. So if they died as a baby and they were going to be in the prime of their life at 27, you're seeing like a 27-year-old spirit. If they died at 89 and they were in the prime of their life at 42, you're seeing a 42-year-old spirit. Some people don't get to the prime of their life till like in their 50s and almost 60s and shit. Like Vini, I think he's coming into the prime of his life. Not the prime of his physical prowess and his physical life, but the prime of his life. You see, there's like, you know, when women talk about him and his sexuality and, you know, is it waning? And they're, you know, it's like, no, you know, Vini just gets sexier as he gets older, you know. He's one of, it's a strange anomaly to some women, you see, and it creates a curiosity. How is he doing it? Well,
adolescent-minded. Knowing what the next timeline holds in store for him. Getting to go there and visit the girls that won't give them the time of day here, you see. They act like they don't want to be part of the future. I don't know. They don't want to be part of now. I don't know. It's like, you know, you can't really get to the bottom of it because you can't get to the bottom of it, yo. But anyway, there's a little girl on the Astroscape. Tinkerbell is what our nickname is for her. It's like, because, well, she's like a little ministering fairy, you see. This brings up another thing that I just thought of, is all these entities that think they're stomping Vini out here, and then they get on the Astroscape somehow, and they try to outrun Vini, and he always wins the marathon of endurance in the spirit. He doesn't have physical endurance here because he hasn't been fucking. Like, you know, if he got to where he was fucking a couple women, about 6 months later, he'd be back strong, and, you know, he'd be, he'd have muscle tone because he's, you know, sex is a workout if you're doing it right. Anyway, on the Astroscape, when these motherfuckers are trying to outrun him, they may get ahead of him for a little while, but then they can't get past the abyss. And Vini can just keep on running. Like the Roadrunner runs from one cliff to the next, and the coyote gets out there and stops and looks down and realizes there's nothing underneath him. Part of it, I think, is Vini's adolescence. You see? He's, in his mind, he can get past it. He knows he can.
And it's spirit mind. Wonder what you were looking at here. If this is somebody lives here. I can't remember what the car was that was parked down there.
They don't pay attention to your
Vehicles and the details of your stuff here. That shit don't matter.
All these retards buying all these expensive cars that cost more than motherfucking goddamn houses and shit. It's like, man, that's a hell of a fucking investment to drive down the road and let some kid looking down at their phone destroy for you. You know it'll never be right to again once it's been wrecked, even if they make it look right.
So he's gonna have that energy of
That accident on it. You see? So I don't know. There comes a point of it's not frugality so much as it's just intelligence. And I guess that's why some people buy a car like that and it just sits, they got it sitting on, you know, a little platform in there.
And they're under their house garage. Yeah, this person's gonna sit there with their foot on their brake
for a long ass time. Just, you know, overstress them brake lights. Use up hours.
So,
got people here, and I guess we'll call this done for now, and I'll come back at y'all
a little bit later on. See, it's like there's a crowd showing up now.
This one chick's got a boyfriend with a pickup, or ex-husband or something, I don't know. Her brother. And, okay, this guy's going in. It's mild. I kind of feel bad that I was sitting here, but, you know, because he's handicapped and he's walking with a cane.
And,
I don't know, I just didn't want to be like I'm sitting here, so I tried to like act like, hey, you know, y'all see what I was doing, looking down at the dog, looking down here, getting ready to hit the cigarette, because, well, you know, I do not want to fucking goddamn be some dick to somebody, you know, that's handicapped. I'm already sitting here looking right at his shit. I'm gonna turn this motherfucker around tonight, in the middle of the night. So it's facing that way for a while. The old people will just have to deal with it. There ain't nobody looking at your old ass anyway, you know? And this camera's sitting in front of me. I'm looking at the camera. Unless, like, it's where you got it where you can't see nothing, then I'm looking around, but I ain't looking at nobody's apartment. I don't want to see no old people, you know, ready to go to bed and shit. And I just don't want to invade anybody's privacy, so I don't look at people's shit. Now, there's this woman that brings a little dog around and makes a point of letting it go up and pee on the foliage next to the deck, the patio deck there, my patio deck. And Aslan was asleep behind a chair and didn't even notice, but she let that little dog just sit there on the patio and look in the door. With the door was open, the screen was shut, and just look in the door for the longest time. Aslan never noticed. He was sound asleep. You see? And then she walked away with the dog. Now, you know, I wonder if she did that before, you know, we showed up. Because, well, the first week or so we were here, week and a half, I never seen her coming around, you know? Now all of a sudden it's like a thing, you see? And instead of like taking the dog across the street, well, she comes from across the street like she took it over there, but she has to make the pit stops in the back by our apartments, you see? And it's kind of fucked up because, well, to do the same thing to this woman, you got to do it in the front, right by the office and shit, you know, who's the woman who's doing it and her neighbor who the dog belongs to. I'm pretty sure it belongs to her neighbor. It might belong to someone else who's just leaving it with her for a while, every once in a while. And that might be why I only see her once in a while. But Aslan's being a good boy. He's been out for 2 walks. We walked 5 o'clock in the morning with his lady leash. And then we walked a little while ago. And then when I sat out there, you seen let him eat a tree for a while. He didn't get none stuck in his teeth this time. But yeah, there's the compulsion to fulfill the office for the high energy frequency firepower, because there has to be as many entities that are capable of doing it, you know, and there has to be some entities that are doing it not for money and not for profit. And that'd be Vini. He puts his songs up. Those songs are to benefit people if they listen to them. And how many millions of streams will he have to get before he ever gets $100? You know, so come on. You're not. He's not like trying to rake it in here unless people start buying his MP3s. You see, streaming it ain't shit. It's like 0.0037 of a cent. So it's like shit. Yeah, you might as well say it's nothing. A penny's nothing, man. So when you have to get streamed like 10 times to get a penny, no wonder. You'd have to get streamed 1 billion times to get a real check like that, man. They made sure there's no money in music for the music artists, especially the underground ones. The only way that you can do it is if you endorse shit that you shouldn't endorse, because, well, they're advertising on YouTube. And YouTube won't let people put up opposing dialect to bullshit. It must be bullshit if you can't talk against it, right? It just devalues everything that they leave up. You know, the propaganda, you see? And they leave up videos of animals being tortured and kids being sexualized. You know, you've seen some mainstream music act fucking videos, you know, especially by rappers and motherfucking up-and-coming rappers. It's like, oh shit, that's a little kid, man, you know? And then you find out, oh, like, you know, Tekashi 6ix9ine or whatever the fuck that little girly boy is. It's like, you know, You can tattoo your face all you want. You're still pretty, and you can't hide that pretty mouth, boy. Yeah. Trying to get that mustache, son. Well, you know, the reason why is because we had to time loop them as a girl now that they, little 13-year-old girl, they had a video that they all ran a train on. You see, that's what they're into. Don't give up. You got the beggar's disease. Just 14 got you down on your knees. It's like, that was played on the radio here in this timeline. In my timeline, we don't glamorize or glorify or talk about fucking children, man. Sorry. There's nobody that's, you know, into that would like it there. Because we ain't looking at little kids like that, yo. Yuck. Nastiness, yo. It's like, it's some fucked up shit you have going on here. When real motherfuckers with talent can't get no fucking, you know, they can't get no credit for it. Motherfuckers with no talent, just shock value. It's been like happening since Madonna, man. It's like, when is there a generation that wakes up and says, fuck that? Yeah, it just recognizes it. It says, yeah, fuck that. Fuck that. You know? Fuck that. Where is this Vini guy at? Where's his music? Well, he's got like 100 pseudonyms, man. Let's start listening to some of that shit. Let's defy the man and say, fuck the man. Fuck the man. Fuck him. Yeah. So we're fucking the man up in this shit now. You see? Yeah, every second of this frequency firepower, high energy coming out. Bombarding this timeline. This temporary undone timeline. Must be undone if my timeline started, right? Big old gloat up in this shit. Woohoo! Oh, did you not win? Yeah, you don't win by cheating. You don't win by fucking having a mentality that some people should be rich and other people should be poor. You don't win by, you know, creating a fucking plague out of races and shit, you know? You're gonna dictate, you know, that they're gonna be something that they weren't before you came in and poked and shit. Bought your little turncoats in the house to poke it all up. Punch holes and everything. So, seems like I have bad timing in this timeline for trying to make videos and do shit like that. I want to have to shave my face and body and dig Cassandra out for y'all. Because I can't, like, let that die while Pre-Vini's gone. Especially if it's the only thing he's got. Which, you know, except for hanging with his little dog, it is. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got nothing else happening in his life. Doesn't mean nothing's gonna happen. It just means right now it's pretty motherfucking slow. So it's like 4:22 now. Eastern Standard Time. We were out here smoking together. I'm gonna go in and put this all together. Yeah, I'm really confounded what I was seeing earlier. Probably was nothing. But you know, when you think it's nothing in this timeline, sometimes it's something. So one more day after today, and then you can go to the dispensary and get some vape cartridges and weed. Got to get them some flour to go with it. Keep them properly medicated. So this guy that I saw riding his bike with the dog is riding by now. Going to be riding by. Oh, maybe it ain't him. Oh, it ain't him. It's just someone totally different. Oh, it is him. He's one of them guys that looks different from a distance, then gets up close and looks different. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening. It's none of my business. I'm just here keeping it going while Vini's getting his break from this shit. Because this shit right here is some fucked up shit. You come to a timeline where you're looked at and regarded as something that you're not all the time by everybody. You know? It's like, nobody wants to fucking goddamn look at you properly. They can't see you. That's what Vini is. He's like the invisible man up in this shit, you know? The only time anybody will acknowledge him is when he dresses up like fucking Cassandra. When he's Cassandra, the dark priestess, she-male guru, suddenly fucking people are looking. It's like, what the fuck, man? It's the same fucking message. It's the same shit. It's the same entity, ain't it? I mean, does he transform? I guess, man, he probably transforms personalities, and that's something I'm not doing for y'all. I don't know. I don't understand it. I'm seeing it, and I don't understand it. You know, I look at the, you know, like his BitChute account. I see what's getting looked at and what's not. It's like, wow. You can't tell with YouTube because, well, you know, they got that thing going. They want to promote child sexualization, animal cruelty, propaganda as news, and lies as fact. And they want to take down people who put up an opposing viewpoint, which means that the viewpoint that you can't oppose, it must be bullshit. So everything that they will leave up and that they will put up and that they don't fight against, they don't censor, they don't take their channels down, shit like that. They've got lots and lots of views. It's like, oh, okay, well, there you go. That must be propaganda, right? I mean, you're starting to learn how to gauge it, what you're looking at in this timeline. If YouTube will give it good algorithms, it's bad. If it will give it bad algorithms, you know, if it'll hide it, if it won't put it in the related videos, if they take down the channel that posted it or take the video down, it must be good. It must be factual. So you're starting to learn, okay, all right, they took this down before I could see it on YouTube. Does this motherfucker have a BitChute account? You see? Because then you can go over to BitChute and see what YouTube didn't want to show you. And BitChute is kind of a funny bitch, all right? It's bitch-oot. Bitch, U-T-E. It's a bitch, man. Okay, like you upload a video. Then you got to go to settings. And you got to re-upload the thumbnail. Yeah, for real. Re-upload the thumbnail because it won't be over there to the side. You can put 3 hashtags separated by a space. So you got to select 3 of the hashtags that are in your description. There's a siren. He jumped up. He's hearing it. Okay. You got to disable comments. And you got to select what category it's going to go in. And you have to disable the comments because bitch Ute has a troll problem of entities who will create. I don't know if they're still allowed to comment through Discus or not, but entities who will create Discus accounts and hide behind them, sock Discus accounts, and go on the videos and troll them. You know, they won't say nothing negative to anybody anywhere about torturing an animal, though. They won't say nothing to nobody anywhere about, sexualizing a child. No, they'll like that shit. They'll click like on it. They will literally click like on it. For reals. They'll make a cool comment and, oh yeah, that's so cool. Yeah. Then you see yourself making that comment in the time loops about you being tortured. When you're in that animal. Or you being sexualized when you're in that girl. Are you hetero? Better buy a dildo and start learning to like deep throating it and taking it up your butt. Better learn about prostate fucking orgasms and all that shit. Yeah. Because you're gonna be the girl. I'll be the girl that she won't be for me tonight. You'll reap the rewards. Take advantage of the void. That's kind of about sideways about, like Jesse. And just, I don't know, women in general. It's a song that explains why he's, he could never depart from, transsexualism, being a transgender person, because there's not a woman to fill the void, that he would have if he stopped having himself as a woman, you see? So I'll be the girl, since, it's such a horrible thing for any woman in this timeline to be, it's like, oh, wow. And you look at what they do hook up with, it's like, ugh, there you go. You reaped what you sowed. You objectified Vini, and you objectified what you got up with, and you learned a hard lesson about objectification, didn't you? And then you look and you see, wow, Vinny's old ass is a beautiful motherfucker, man. He's distinguished and sophisticated. He's smart. He's well-read. He's a dual timeline entity. So he has that duality. I just never know if I'm dealing with him or his spirit from the future. It's like he has that mystery about him. There's the mystery of the stuff that he knows is coming that, can't be disclosed, I mean, if they could really get somebody's memory, you know what I'm saying? They probably would have already captured this motherfucker and put him away somewhere in a lab, in a big fucking Teflon-coated lab or something. I don't know. One of their little Ghostbuster chambers and shit. Trying to make sure that they catch any spirits that go in or out, right? And I have no doubt that they have technology close by, cloaked in some transporter that's been trying it, because I've been feeling it. It's like they're hitting his body with something, and it's localized. It's not like it's something that's hitting everybody. So it's not a reaction to, like, the 5-7 and shit. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P L M N O P. What's the rest of it? Q R S T U V W X Y Z. Now I know my ABC. Next time, won't you sing with me? Alright, y'all. We bullshitted long enough. I think I hit this timeline. I'm gonna go Moab today. Fire! 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 There you go. Pre-Vinny and I can do this forever. You ain't hurting nobody but yourself, fool. Every penny diverted from him, you can work it off. Don't worry. Plenty of slave time loops, man. There was lots and lots and lots. There's more being made every day. Yeah, till y'all are stopped, till the crash point happens. Yeah. There's something treacherous happening every day due to your pre-existence here. You negatively affected shit and ripple affected it down. So now the poor man is just like the rich man. Their minds work exactly the same. The only ones who aren't fucking rancid like that are the ones that they both come against. The middle class who work with their own two hands like they were told to by Yah. You see? What's the rest of them want to do? Eat them motherfuckers. That's what they busy doing. Yeah. You either gotta be rich or poor now. They ain't gonna let you be in the middle no more. They coming for you. Ain't that fucked up shit? When you can't just mind your own business and do what you do, which benefits your community. You see? And they can pay motherfuckers to come destroy a community. I mean, just imagine Soros' mentality. I own all these slaves who work for me for free. All I had to do was buy a few turncoats that are in the house with me, like, you know, BLM and Antifa. Free Barabbas, crucify Christ. They'll just look around. Oh, we better join in. Free Barabbas, crucify Christ. They've been using it that long, man. Thousands of years. And now Soros can gloat that he has how many free slaves? Soros is free slaves to do his bidding, his will, which is, you know, his operation, his plantation is burn the world down around him. That's his plantation. That's his product. And his slaves doing it for free. They got programmed to be free slaves. Everybody who supports Black Lives Matter is a free slave. You see? They relinquish their ability to think for themselves, their free thought. And now they're just free slaves.
Did I just see a hottie pull in here? Is that the car that's usually parked over there? No, this chick ain't usually here.
She didn't park in between the lines. She doesn't intend to stay.
Yeah. That's why you don't see him or them in the next timeline. This woman's not a bad looker for her age.
She's a little tall, but for preventing, she's a little tall, but
I don't know. I'll tear it up. She's going all the way to the other end.
all right, y'all. I didn't get into much about Tinkerbell, did I? She's helped us a lot. And she's done some shit you wouldn't expect a little kid to know to do. And I'm pretty sure she's alive here in this timeline. Maybe she's in a coma or something. I don't know. I don't know who she is as a person. You know, we just go, hey, Tinkerbell, there she is, you know? And it's like, you see? And the weird thing is, we've only seen her when both of us are present on the astroscape. I've never seen her by myself, and he's never seen her by himself, that I know of. Okay? So, could be in a spirit memory, and he just didn't share it with his body. Who knows? Or he didn't remember it, you see? Not all astroscape shit goes into your physical memory. Oh no, Bill Gates just said. Oh shit, that was funny because I heard it when he sees that shit. And you better believe, you know, when they hit that fucking throttle to turn it down where, you know, he don't get no view counts or likes and shit, that's when they took the download and passed it around to all these motherfuckers that ain't making it to the next timeline. They don't have to drive the view counts up to pass it around. And they do it with all his videos. You better believe it. Those who didn't make it, who are powerful and rich and famous, they know they didn't make it. But instead of trying to do something to make it, this is what they do. It's in this spirit memory, non-tamperable, non-deletable. Not only is it an omission, but it's an action. Damn, dual indemnity and shit. On dual indemnity. On duality. Unduality. All right, y'all. This has been fun, hasn't it? Ooh. Just all cuddly with the frequencies. Yes. Oh, yes. You ain't gonna get that off the radio. You ain't gonna get that in no church. You ain't gonna get that from anybody else. You can't even fucking defeat it with a lawnmower in the back. All that does is make it stronger. Because the vibrations from the lawnmower vibrated it harder. It made me talk louder. See? All things working together for our good, yo. You notice that? Ain't it cartoonish? Yeah. It really is. It's like, wow. Look at this shit. Vini could be like the Roadrunner and lay one of them black portals down and, just jump through it. And then it just disappeared. Motherfuckers wonder, where the fuck did he go? Yeah. He's reaching that point pretty soon. He's going to be able to teleport, teleportation. Because, well, that's happened. And it's scriptural. Did you get goosebumps because you thought I said something that wasn't scriptural? Betcha somebody did, yo. You ain't supposed to be watching this video anyway. This content ain't for you. Go away. All right, y'all.
Gonna do it. Gonna do it right, even if it takes all night. If I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna do it right. Gonna do it right, even if it takes all night. If I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna do it right.
Hear my working cut, got a sweaty butt, 'cause I like working, feel me homie working, master of my craft, always busting ass, got hustle to my grind, don't keep money on my mind.
Gonna do it right, even if it takes all night. If I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna do it right. Gonna do it right, even if it takes all night. If I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna do it right.
Focus on my job, yeah babe, I got a job, and I'm loving what I do, and I'm making money too. Kicking out top tier, that's how we do. Holding up a standard, double checking that it's true.
Gonna do it right, even if it takes all night. If I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna do it right. Gonna do it right, even if it takes all night. If I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna do it right. Gonna do it. 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 Gonna do it right, even if it takes all night. If I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna